Is held by Henry Rono of Kenya. The American record holder is Henry Marsh. And now, as we get ready for the steeplechase final, it is time to continue one of the most painful and intriguing continuing stories in track and field. The story of Henry Marsh. In 1979, at the World Cup in Montreal, he was given an excellent chance to win. Finished fourth, went home and discovered that he had run with mononucleosis. 1980 would have been one of the favorites to win a gold medal in Moscow. Didn't go to those Olympic Games. 1981 at the World Cup in Rome, he was leading and was disqualified after finishing first when he had been forced wide of the water jump on the last lap by an East German runner. 1983 World Championships. He was in second place and moving by the lead runner on the last lap in Helsinki when he fell over a hurdle and wound up finishing eighth. 1984, he won the American Olympic trials, was regarded as the favorite to win the gold medal in Los Angeles, contracted a virus immediately following the trials, finished fourth at the Olympics, and missed a medal by scant 1/100th of a second. Henry Marsh is 31 years old. A couple of days ago, I asked him if the continuing nightmares of his career in international competition haunt him when he tries to go to sleep at night.
I think, Jim, I really just try to forget about them. I'm not the type of person to dwell on the past. I'm always looking forward to the future, but they have, I think, been a great motivator for me, because when you have disappointments, I think it rejuvenates you and gives you the extra desire and energy that you need to go out and go through the workouts that you have to go through if you want to be competitive on a world-class level. So in that respect, I think they've been a positive aspect of my life, and that I've been able to come back and train hard and be consistent year in and year out and be one of the best in the world. And that's, I guess that's what track's all about, is to try to be your best year in and year out. And hopefully this meet, I can put all those jinxes and bad lucks and everything else to rest.
There is the man who would be regarded as the biggest obstacle to Henry Marsh in the race, Joseph Mahmoud of France, 6 times French champion, and his best time is the second fastest of all time, behind world record holder Henry Rono. In fact, there are a total of 7 runners in the race who could conceivably win it. Everybody but the Japanese runner, Shigeyuki Aikyo, who shouldn't really be considered among those with a threat to win it. Marty LaCourey, this is a big opportunity for Henry Marsh.
Well, Henry's been #1 in the world, undefeated this year, and were he to lose this race, it would be a tremendous blow to him. And as we have adequately said, he has had a history in the big races of having amazing things happen to him, falling over the last hurdle on the way to a victory. So Henry is very nervous, especially when something like this happens. They are jogging. They're almost going backwards because nobody wants to take the lead, and that's when you start bumping into people. So Henry's going to either drop way back in the last, or he needs to get up and go right to first place. They've just blown in the first 10 seconds any chance of any kind of a record.
This has happened in every distance race here. The men's 10,000 meters was a walk. Even the women's 1,500-meter race was conducted at a pace which you would not see at some high school meets. Why does it happen in international
Well, number
competition?
one, there's only 8 people in the race, and every one of them thinks that they can win, so they're not going to go out and set a pace and sacrifice for themselves. Secondly, some of them are in there to get second or third because of the team championship, and they don't want to tire themselves out. They want to nip up and get 4th or 5th place for their country. But finally, there's just so much pressure in this race. There's no tomorrow. There's a lot of media here. There's a lot of pressure from back home. And we see this happening in every race now. Henry Marsh has to be happy with it because he's got the best kick over the last 400 meters of anyone in this race. But you would think someone like Peter Renner, who is picked to get a 3rd or a 4th place, would try and go out and run a good time, run an even pace. What we've seen a lot of, Jim, is a lot of upsets, because when the pace is this slow, you take the form charts and you throw them out the window, because position on the last lap and your kick mean more than how good a runner you really are.
All right, let's identify the leaders. The man in front is from the Soviet Union, Ivan Konovalov, and at this pace he would have a chance on the last lap. Just behind him, Peter Renner, whom you mentioned, from New Zealand. He is in second place, number 422. With the white top is Mahmoud of France. He is in 4th place right now, trailing the East German runner, Hagen Melzer. And even though Melzer's career best time is not in a league with some of the others, you never count out an East German runner in big-time international competition. We've already seen what they can do here. There is a good look at Peter Renner of New Zealand, And the crowd, although mostly Australian, there's a tremendous national rivalry between Australians and New Zealanders, will likely be rooting for him. And now moving up into the picture is the African runner, Julius Kariuki of Kenya, whom Marsh identifies as the man he fears most in this field.
That's because any African who runs the steeplechase is a feared unknown. They can improve so drastically in the space of 2 or 3 months of international competition that you're always wary of any African who might be with you on the last lap. It's painful for me to watch this because I know how slow they're going, and when the pace is this slow, you have time to think about the pain. You get sluggish. You almost fall asleep. And when it does come time to sprint, it's actually more painful. They will be more tired at the end of this race than if they had run a hard, even pace close to the world record.
Do not be concerned at this pace by the fact that Henry Marsh is lagging toward the back of the pack. You see him there in next to last place. He is saving Marty LaCour a lot of ground as he stays to the inside of the track. In fact, I watched him in practice the other day, specifically practicing going over the water jump as far inside as he possibly could.
I'll tell you, Jim, though, in a race like this, forget about saving ground. Get out on the outside where you can make your move whenever you want, because if you hang around on the inside there, somebody takes off like a Renner. He could take off and get 40 yards on Marsh before Marsh works his way out around the East German and the African. So forget about the extra yardage now, and a race is slow. Get to the outside and guard your position.
This is the first of our 2 full days of coverage of the World Cup Track and Field Championships from Canberra, Australia. You're watching the men's 3,000-meter steeplechase. We're just a little bit short of halfway, and the leader is Peter Renner of New Zealand, while the favorite, Henry Marsh of the United States, is lagging toward the back.
We're not a...
Back in Canberra, where nothing has changed in this painfully slow tactical steeplechase.
Right now, Mahmoud from France and Henry Marsh are just eyeing each other. They both know they're the best in the field. Mahmoud, second fastest of all time, second in the Olympics. Henry, 5th fastest of all time, an 8:09 steeple recently. They both know they have good kicks on any given day. It can come down to 1 or 2 yards between them, and they have been playing Russian roulette. Now Renner is now trying to make the move to steal a race with just over 3/4 of a mile to go.
And you made the point that Marsh was flirting with danger by allowing the race to stay at this pace and staying on the inside. Now just what you suggested would happen, Marty, is about to happen. Well, Renner has got a 20-yard lead, and Marsh is still bogged down in 5th place. Here he comes.
Well, Renner moved, but then he started to look back. He had to take off and never look back again. He didn't do it. It was only a fake move. They'll reel him back in. Renner was impressive last year at the Olympics, improving in each round, but when he got to the final, there had been just too many races. He ran out of gas. Here, it's a one-shot deal, and maybe he can do something, but right now, Kariuki, the African from Kenya, could be the big danger to Henry Marsh as the pace picks up quite a bit. They've got 1,000 meters to go.
The roar that you heard was for a successful vault in the pole vault. Certainly the crowd is not completely captivated by what's happening in this steeplechase, though there is an eerie drama that begins to evolve in a race that takes place at this kind of pace.
Actually, this is more exciting to me, Jim. In a fast pace, you know it's going to kind of go to form. If Henry Marsh has run 10 seconds faster than Renner, who's in the lead, you know that eventually off a fast pace, Henry's going to win. But right now, off of a slow pace, anybody could win this race.
And now the cream is beginning to rise to the top. Renner on the lead. Kariuki in 2nd place. Henry Marsh, you can see, has moved into 3rd place. Just behind him, the East German runner is staying there, as is Graeme of Canada. And Fell is the man who has moved into position and appears to be watching Henry Marsh very carefully. Mahmoud has elected at this point to stay back in 7th place. He appears quite content to let the rest of the field go ahead in front of him and to mind his own business.
I think Mahmoud is in a little bit of trouble. Graeme, as you mentioned, 13th fastest of all time. Could be a danger here. Marsh and the African, though, right now in perfect position, having the cards in their hand right now for the race. Henry will try and take it, I think, off of the last water jump. 1 lap from now, I think he'll try and hit that water jump, pick up a lot of speed 30 yards before it, and carry it right through.
Henry Marsh is an attorney. He lives in Bountiful, Utah, just outside of Salt Lake City. Recently started to do some work as a television sports commentator there. There are a lot of things in his life above and beyond track and field, but make no mistake about it, this will be the biggest day of Henry Marsh's competitive career in track and field if he can get to the tape first in this race. So much has gone before it, you wonder if it lingers in his mind now as he gets ready for this one last lap.
He's got to be thinking of it. Here he comes in, #1 in the world, and he didn't run the field off their feet. Now he's got a race. He's got 6 men with him. I'd say he's got about a 70% chance of winning, but had it been a fast pace, right now we would say that Henry'd have about a 99% chance of winning. But it's still, as you mentioned to me off camera, don't count out the East German. Came into the race 10 seconds slower than the rest of the field, but he's in 3rd place right now.
What is dominating Marsh's thoughts now? His unbeaten record this year, his invincibility over the course of 1985, or all the misfortunes in international competition? We're going to find out in the next 200 meters.
He's got to think about that. It's all bottled up. He has to explode off this turn, and Kariuki is going with him, but Henry's got to slam that car door.
He's not going to make it, I don't think. Kariuki's in good position. Henry Marsh has got to make up about 3 meters down the stretch. It's Kariuki against Marsh, and Kariuki got there first. The long saga of agony for Henry Marsh continues. Once again, he has fallen short at a big international competition. Julius Kariuki beat him to the tape. And you have to wonder if Henry would do that again if he had that race to run over.
Well, I'm saddened, but if you play with fire, sometimes you get burnt, and that's the way to play with fire. Come into a race 10 seconds faster than the rest of the field and wait until the last 80 yards to try and win it. Against an African who no one knows what his potential is, and he played with fire, and he found out, as so many men have in big competition, that your press clippings don't mean anything if you don't have it the last 50 yards. Here he goes. He puts his head down. Right now, he's done it so many times, gone flying by everyone, but it's just not there. Kariuki has a lot to say about who's going to win in the last 50 meters here.
So retirement might have been possible, but now it is likely that the track and field career of Henry Marsh will continue. He won't get another chance like this until the World Championships in Rome in 1987.
Certainly not enough to take the #1 ranking for the year away from Henry Marsh, and he has been ranked at #1 in the world in this event 3 times now. One of our great American distance runners, but like so many other Americans, the big race has eluded him.
First place to Kariuki of Kenya. Second place, Marsh. Third place, Graeme of Canada.